Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I have got a watercolor card to share with you, and I am just in love with how this turned out. The stamp set I'm using is from Stamping Bella. It's part of the Cool Chicks collection, and this one is called Irish Chicks. It is number EB630. I have gone ahead and stamped this out. I did all of these images twice, just so I would have some different things to choose from. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to put this card together. I just kind of let things flow and played around with everything once I was finished. But I have stamped this out using my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and I am using my Fabriano hot press watercolor paper. I've pulled out my Gansai Tambi watercolors as well as my Santa Fe brushes. These are my go-tos anytime I watercolor. I just love them. They're my absolute favorites. I've tried lots of things, always come back to them. I have left in the full process here for you. I know a lot of you enjoy watching all of these colors come together. For those of you who might want to skip ahead just to the putting together of the actual card, you will want to go to around the 8-minute mark. At this point, I am going to go ahead and turn up the music, let you enjoy the process, and I will meet you a little later to put together the card. All right, so let's go ahead and get this card put together. I have got a panel here I've trimmed out from MFT's whipped cream cardstock. I do a little bit of trimming to this to keep everything centered, but my final measurement for the panel is 3 5/8 by 8.5 inches. So what I've done here is I wanted to create 3 squares, and I have fussy cut out all of these little chickadees, and I'm going to line 3 of them in a row on the front of my card. So I wanted to cut out 3 squares. I did go through and I found my center, and then I measured to keep all of these equally spaced. So the square that I'm using is part of an MFT die set. This is their square shaker die set. It comes with this square as well as one that creates a frame that will actually fit around the outside of this square. I'm only going to use the middle one today. So here I've got that panel, and I've got all 3 of my squares cut out, and then I'm going to trim another panel to place behind it because I want to pop up that front panel and then again place one of each of my cutouts in the center of those squares. So there you'll see I'm just going to go ahead, line that up, make sure I've got everything spaced out the way that I would like it, and there I'm going to pull in my images, lay that out, make sure that I'm happy with how I want everything to be lined up. I'm gonna grab my trimmer just because it really bothers me when things aren't exactly perfect. So I'm trimming off somewhere between like an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch just to make sure that I have everything nice and centered. And like I said, that's why this ended up measuring just about 3 5/8 wide. Now I thought that I might stamp the sentiment on the outside of this, and then I thought, nope, it's going to be too busy. So I decided just to go with my images on the front. I'm going to grab some foam tape from my stash. Just go ahead and fill in all the way around. I think I use a mix of both. This is 1/2 inch here. Yes, and I've also placed 1/4 inch in the smaller sections there just to make sure everything is nice and filled in. And then I'm gonna peel away just from the center there and place down this backing so I can get all of my little chickadees glued in there. So since I did 2 of each image, I have 2 of the little chicks that are holding the mug of beer, and I'm gonna place one at the top and one at the bottom. And then this one in the center kind of had sort of like the craziest look to me. I really love his little clovers that are popping up off of his head there. So I'm gonna glue down the top and bottom directly on that back panel. And then when I get to the center one, I'm actually gonna pull out a mini wobbler just to give him a little bit of action in the center there. So go ahead and get these two glued down. And then I'll grab one of my mini wobblers, and I like to attach this to the back of my cutout first. I take that heavier, harder plastic piece and add that on the back of my cutout, and then there is a clear plastic piece on the opposite side. So I will go ahead and peel away the backing off of that. And then the way these wobble, you have to be careful when you place them down. So I will actually just lightly place that, not pressing that into place until I have it sitting the way that I want it to stay. And once I'm happy with that, then I will go ahead and press down and make sure that's nice and firmly stuck to my background there. There you can see that wobble. I just love that. Such a fun thing to add to a card. For my card base, I'm using some cardstock from Stamp Market, and this is called Greenery. I have trimmed my base to 4 1/4 by 9 inches. I'm going to peel away the rest of the backing off of those side pieces of foam tape. Add some ATG in the center there just to make sure I get a nice good stick with all that. And then I'll center that on the top of my card base. Whenever I've got something like with a wobbler or that's popped up on the front there, I like to just flip my card over and I'll run my bone folder along the back just to make sure that is stuck down nice and tight. I've here trimmed out another panel from my whipped cream cardstock that measures 3 5/8 by 8.5 inches. I've stamped out that good luck sentiment using some Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I'm going to add some art glitter glue to the back of that last little chickadee there and place him down in the bottom of my panel. I'll add some ATG to the back and then pop that on the inside of my card base. And here is a look at that finished card. Love that little wobbler in the center there. Here are a few close-ups of the finished card. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.